So, upsala. Hi there again. Back to a new video, and I still don't have a proper camera rig, so you are sitting on something I got yesterday, which I'm going to show you today, what this video is going to be about, because I got something from the seller, as I told you. I actually switched out engines, as I told you, because the last one was bored out, and yeah. Today is going to be roughly only about this engine, because you can't spin it over really. You can only spin it like this bit, and as you can see the spark plugs are already out, so there shouldn't be any compression. So something is locked up, or maybe it's in gear somehow. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it. I will take a look now. We actually switched clutch side covers, because here this one has an oil pump. Well, this cover is like from the old engine, you already know. And yes, I also got something else, which I'm going to show you over here, which is this box. And some of you may seen it on Instagram. Let's just take it over to here, and I'm quickly going to show you what this is. It is something I have paid a lot of money for, and I think it's the best to just take a shortcut and pack it out. If you saw my Instagram, or know my Instagram, you probably saw it already. This is an all-new Yamaha original crank, but not any crank, because this engine is an R engine, like standard engine, with an R crank in it, and this is an SPR crank. So what the heck is SPR? So SPR was like the, let's say, kind of, there was a race series with the 250 bikes, and there was like a street version of the race bike. And this was the SPR. There only were a few made. I don't know the exact numbers. I think there were 500 per batch, and I think they did it 1, 2, or 3 years. I don't know. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't like have the numbers on hand now. But basically, this crank is way more beefier, way more stable, and has, yeah, it's just more rigid. So the amount of power will be not a problem for the crank. And yeah, so that's like all I got yesterday. I drove to Bavaria for this, like 4 hours each ride, so 8 hours of driving with a friend. And yeah, basically I now am going to tear down the engine, or at least not tear down, but pull out the cylinders and take a look why this one isn't spinning over. Maybe it's also some sort of gearbox problem, I don't know, but the engine looks overall very clean actually, and well made actually. Also, we switched out cylinder heads from the old engine. I switched, I traded in basically, and I already saw like the heads, the cylinders have O-ring grooves in them, and also O-rings, so no more weird head gasket things. So that's already been done. So someone has been working on this engine. As you can see, also the cylinder is quite clean, and from the inside it didn't look too bad, but it isn't spinning over. So yeah, and if you are spinning, let me see. If you are spinning, also the sprocket isn't really moving, so it shouldn't be in gear. It's just turning over very heavily. So maybe it's just like lying around for a long time, so it's seized. So I'm going to just pull the cylinders out, take a look if there's any damage, and see what has to be done. Yeah, that's the plan for today, and now I think it's time for a time lapse. So, you saw like the sped up footage. Everything is disassembled, at least for the first cylinder. I'm going to do like second one off camera and just show you the result. But basically, as you can see, I told you there are already O-ring grooves in it, which look pretty good. The whole cylinder is looking, let me see, pretty good, besides like a ton of like silicon sealant stuff, RV stuff. So let's go to the lamp over here. You can see the bore is pretty clean. Not really anything major. The channels also haven't been modified in any kind of way, like not as far as I can see. They haven't been like filed out or worked on in any kind of way. So yeah, also like the power valve, it's quite gummed up, but I don't know how the original one is supposed to look. I think that's actually like how they're supposed to look like. I don't know if this side is like shortened or anything, but I think because you assemble it from this side, this one has to be smaller to fit. So, but I don't know. I'm going to ask Jürgen or Daniel or anyone I know. Yes, as I told you, this is like the old head. Yes, it's pretty rough. Had some damage before, but the head is also going to be worked on. Yes, and also the caps look pretty normal. But the most important thing is actually it turns over now. So let me see if I can get a light to you. Yes, so as you can see, there is some gunk like down. I can't focus on it. So like down in the crankcase, and it looks like rusty stuff. So I think it's water. So at some point the engine has gotten some water in it, any kind of way. The piston is a one-ring piston actually. I don't know if it's original, but it's also like very, very gooey. So I think the engine is also overall very old and standing, because the piston itself, yes, you can see like here the ring didn't seal properly and there are some minor grooves, but it's not too awful. So yes, the casing also is original around here, not been worked on. What I recognized is there are like two base gaskets, like cylinder base gaskets, or this one is actually only a piece of metal anymore by now. So maybe they had some issues with like head clearance, I think. And yeah, also I don't know what this one is in here. So if anyone knows why there's like a little pin, this one, please enlighten me. And yeah, so the engine does turn over now. Of course, I'm going to renew the crank, so it's not that awful. I'm also going to renew the pistons, and maybe you can read it. There's Deco written on the crank. But yeah, so it's overall pretty gummed up, so nothing too awful. Yes, as you can see, it's moving. So I think it's just like very gummed up. Let's see if the other cylinder is also gummed up like this. And yes, overall, not too awful actually. Not too awful. Also the membranes look to be original. No carbon membranes, and overall like the crankcase isn't like, as I told you, been worked on like the other ones. And yes, so off camera I'm going to disassemble this one. I'm going to quickly assemble this one onto it so it's not flopping around, and yeah, see you like in the next snippet. Well, actually, I also made like a time lapse, so you saw both. Anyways, this one looks a little bit worse. Basically, you have no gunk down here actually. Also, I found the issue because I reinstalled this cylinder with the power valve, and when turning over it locked again on a certain position. So actually it was just like a tiny corner on like the power valve, which was just hitting the piston. So this is the reason why it didn't turn over, because now, yes, it's not like correct to turn it over like this, but it's going to get new anyway, so you can now turn it over fully. Yes, so it works. So it was just a smaller issue with like the not connected power valves and them clinching around. So, but anyways, why is this one a little worse? As you can see, maybe if my phone camera, yeah, maybe you can see it like here, a little, maybe from far away. Yes, here you have like something hit and scrubbed in the piston, like around the pin area, but the pin is still there. So actually, I asked you before what this pin was in the hole. It's actually just like the ring pin. And yeah, overall, now you can maybe see if it would like focus. Focus, focus, please focus. Yeah, this piston looks worse. So also the cylinder looks a little bit worse. Maybe you can see it in the different lighting. I don't know. Yeah, here you can see it. Like it's a little worse, but it's not awful. They are going to get replated anyways and also worked on channels. And so this is not like the most dramatic thing. And yeah, the heads are actually from the old engine I had before. Because, yeah, you can see like this head is looking rough. But the problem was the different heads that were on like this engine were machined out like a different chamber shape, and also there were chips missing around the spark plug hole, like bigger chips, like chips the size of this top silver part. So like if you can imagine, wouldn't be nice if this one is missing like this big. And I didn't want it, so we switched them out. Please focus. And yeah, now I'm just quickly lubing up the engine, or at least I'm going to remove like the old gunky oily fuel residue with some brake cleaner and lube it up so the engine isn't totally sticky from the inside. And I'm going to clean out the mess down here, because that's like the crate I transported it with, and as you can see, there's a lot of gearbox fluid that leaked because it wasn't like this seal around here isn't like, as I told you, we changed out the covers and it wasn't like very sealed because we just threw it on and there was some engine oil left in the gearbox, some gearbox oil left, so we maybe have made a little mess, but that's why I transported it like in this big box. Yes, and I think that's going to be it for today, at least. Just a short update kind of video on the engine, because yes, I haven't gotten any more parts, I think. Or I don't really have something to work on, but actually I can tell you a little bit. I told you about the chain slider. As you can see, that's like I think that's the top side. No, that's that's the top side. The top side is still existing and the bottom side is, yeah, gone, like totally gone. And I need a replacement for this, and because you can't get it, I'm going to dig a little on the internet if I can still find like a used good one or anything like this. But also there's like a metal in here, like in here there's a metal plate, so you can't just I thought about printing it, because I'm printing a few rubber parts on the bike that I can't get, because at my university there's like a specialized 3D printing laboratory, and I asked the professor generally about something around plastics, and he said, "Ah, yeah, okay, sure, just ask my laboratory, I don't know how you call it, like not assistant, he's leading the laboratory with rapid prototyping, so 3D printing basically." And I wrote him and I visited him, and we are going to print like the little, let me explain to you quickly, the little, wrong part, right part, like the little bushings. You have like this plate goes into the rear wheel. Just imagine this is the rear wheel, and it's bolting up the sprocket, the rear main sprocket. And you have like pins that go, actually that's the side you're going to see from the outside. This is the wheel side. You have like metal pins in here, you can screw on the sprocket, and then you have like metal pins sticking out. And because you don't want to just yank the load if you are yanking the throttle to the aluminium wheel, so you have like a rubber bushing all dampening this movement. And the rubber bushings still exist, you can still buy them. They are quite expensive because basically they are just like rubber bushing with an aluminium part in the middle. I don't think I have one here, but basically I have all like the pins, the screw-in pins, and I do not have, I have two rubber bushings but without the metal inside. So either I'm going to buy them for 30 bucks a piece, 5 pieces, which I'm not willing to do because money's tight, even though I'm building a bike. I'm going to, as I told you, work with the laboratory of 3D printing, and I'm going to print the rubber part in TPU material with Shore toughness, I think, like Shore 80A or Shore 70A, because the original material that's like 30 years old was like Shore 65, and if you have like a little bit more power, I thought wouldn't be too awful to do that. And for the metal part, I have this rod of 7075 aluminium, and a friend of mine and I am going to like put it in the lathe and make the little metal parts of the bushing. And yeah, as you can see, it's more than enough for the 5. Maybe we're going to do more if anyone of the TZR community, I know, like Jürgen, Daniel, or Peter wants any more, like we can make some at least. So, or I'm just going to make 2 sets for myself and just put it on the shelf. And yeah, that's something I will be doing in October, I think, because the friend Leonard, I don't think he's watching, so he got a new milling machine lathe, and we are going to work on this one, but he still needs to sort it out a little, so it's going to take time, but I don't have it's not like rushing. So that's going on in the background. Then different things in the background you may what can I tell you more about? Like next week I'm going to get the shock absorber and the front fork, and then I may be able to assemble the bike, but problem is still you need to like put on the chain guard, whatever, on before you put the swing arm in, which I forgot, but it's not like the end of the world because I'm not going to use this one, because if I use it, like the swing arm will be damaged, which it is a little anyways on the part, because as you saw, like the rubber is already gone and it's gone in the metal a little, but not really much. And yeah, maybe I'm going to print this one, but I don't know how to like solve the metal plate thing. Maybe I'm going to print it like this and then leave it out. Like here, I'm going to leave out some material around here and then put in the metal plate. Or is it even like metal? No, it's not metal. It's actually rubber. You can, yeah, you can see maybe. you can like, yeah, maybe it's a thin metal plate, I don't know. It's pretty tough. It's a little bendy, but and also it's holding the shape and after bending. So maybe it's a small plate, a small fine plate. I don't know. But currently the only option is to scan it and 3D print it in any kind of way because I didn't find one. I already posted on the forum. Maybe somebody answered already. I don't know. If so, I will do like a small snippet after this video. But yes, so that's basically it, I think. I'm now going to reassemble the engine, like this second cylinder, and that's going to be it for today, I think. And that's just like a small video, but like getting the crank was like really awesome because I already told you it's an SPR crank, so it's not rare, not like totally not gettable, but it's like it's something nice. So like getting a new crank for the whole bike, it's like a big part of the engine build. It's one of the main parts because like you buy like in terms of buying new, because you basically only buy smaller parts, and the biggest part you buy for the engine are pistons and the crank, and the rest is a lot of machining and working on and recoating the cylinders, redoing the heads, redoing all the parts. Of course, clutch bearings, all bearings inside, which are going to be really, really expensive because they are not like normal bearings you can get. It's like some special stuff, I don't know, let's see. And yeah, that's basically all the big parts. Also pistons, but I think I already told you that. And intake manifolds, 2 pieces, like 2 big ones, like really big ones. Because maybe I can show you. Let me show you quickly. But let me cut the video here so it's not like 5 minutes of me talking in offset because I'm searching the carb. So see you. So back after searching. That's the carb I already showed you. That's the 38mm Mikuni one. And yeah, the problem is like this is the original intake. As you can see, it's a little bit big because, as I told you, it's bigger, way bigger, very much bigger. And I'm going to get SPR ones remade actually, because if you get original SPR ones, you pay around 500 euros a piece. You need 2, and also you don't find them like every day. They are like the holy grail of TZR parts, or one of them. Every part from the SPR is a holy grail, because as I told you, there weren't too many of them made, and the pile of parts is moving, and I'm going to have them remade in some way, and I'm very excited for them because there's going to be a lot of 3D printing in the whole bike around the engine, and I'm pretty happy about it because yes, I do own a 3D printer, but nothing like crazy that's working with TPU or anything. It's all PLA, maybe PTG, but nothing else. Like it's an indirect extruder, so you can't really work with any TPUs or anything like this. So I have some professionals to do it. Let's say it like this. And yeah, that's going to be it for today. And I will give you an update video, I think, next week, when like all the suspension parts are in, like end of the week. And yeah, I'm actually excited about it. Maybe I have like an update until then for this little piece, because that's a little troublemaker currently, because you need to run it, of course, and I'm currently not too sure, but I think 3D printing will be the only option. But yeah, let me think what let me know what you think about the whole thing with 3D printing and the engine in the comments if you want to, and yeah, see you next time.